Hey guys, so today I'm going to run through 3 guest poster angles that can work in pretty much any industry. So at least, no matter what industry you're in, at least one of these guest post techniques can work for you. And I'm not talking about guest posts on those stupid like guest post websites. I'm talking about writing thought leadership articles on the blogs of real companies. So I'm going to show you examples of the 3 of these so you can get the idea of what I'm talking about. And I've also written an article on my website that goes in depth on the strategy as a whole. So I'll link to that in the description. And if you're interested, then you can have a look at that. So the first of these I call the Recruitment Insider angle. And what you do is you target companies whose target market are job seekers, saying that you'll write an article for their blog about how to answer interview questions in your industry. So here are the keywords that we can use to find sites. So we're looking for companies that target job seekers that have blogs, right? So I Google resume help in URL blog minus best. The minus best just filters out sites that are like, here are the best resume blogs, because we want the blogs themselves rather than just lists of the blogs. The first one is Handshake. So you can see Handshake, they write articles aimed at people looking for a job. So if you're like, hey, I'm a hiring manager at a company, here's what I'm looking for, then that's a useful article for their site. You then go LinkedIn, what was this company called? Joinhandshake.com. Joinhandshake.com. And the person that you want to contact is the head of content here. So content. What's going on? Let's do that again. Content and kind of any of these. Well, not any of them, but like a lot of these people will be the right interest, will be the right person to contact. Sorry, a lot of the people here will be the right person to contact. So I would say this person would be a good person. So yeah, Carrie May Perez. And then you can go this and you can use like Hunter and, what was her name? Carrie May Perez. Anyway, so you find the person who's in charge of the blog, and this is the type of pitch I would send to them. So subject line, interview tips from your niche hiring manager. Hi first, my name is your name, your position at your company. In the last 6 years, we've hired over 100, whatever people in the industry are called. So in the last 6 years, we've hired over 100 lawyers, conducting over 1,000 interviews in the process. I'd like to write an article for Handshake's blog that runs through the questions that hiring managers in the legal industry tend to ask, and what we're looking for, and what we're looking for candidates to demonstrate when answering these questions. The article will be exclusive to you and won't cost you anything. Here are some examples of my writing on similar topics. And then you just put 2 URLs of good articles that you've written now in that are on similar-ish topics. If this is of any interest to you, then please let me know and I can send over a draft in the next few days. And then you just send like a follow-up being like, hey, just made sure you saw this. Are you interested? So that's the first one, the Recruitment Insider. You're targeting blogs of companies that target job seekers. You position yourself as someone who has hired that has experience hiring people, and it's like, hey, this is what I look for in a candidate. Okay, so the second one is the Gatekeeper Technique. So this is slightly more complicated than the job seeker one. But anyway, almost any industry is the gatekeeper of another party. So for example, a journalist is a gatekeeper for a PR. So a PR's job is to get their pitches accepted and written by a journalist. So a journalist is sort of the gatekeeper for a PR. A hiring manager is the gatekeeper of a recruiter/candidate. So a recruiter and candidate's job is to get past a hiring manager and to get accepted by them. The third one is a property lawyer, which in the UK is called a conveyancer, is the gatekeeper to someone trying to buy a house. So part of the process of trying to buy a house is to get, your bid accepted, I guess, by and passed deemed good enough by a property lawyer. So what you need to do is think about who you are a gatekeeper to by virtue of what job you do. Find businesses that serve the audience of the gatekept parties and offer an article to that business's blog on how to get past them. So you're not targeting the people you gatekeep, but you're targeting the businesses that serve the people you gatekeep. So, for example, if you're a freelance journalist and you're trying to build links to a blog on how to make money freelance writing, so say like you find a lot of blogs like this person is a journalist, they want to make a bit of side money or start a career teaching people how to become a freelance writer, and they want to build links to their website. Then you can target PR databases, so companies whose target audience are PR people, and you can offer them an article on how to effectively pitch journalists from the point of view of a journalist. So, the keywords you can use for this are PR database in URL blog, and here's that. So the first one I found is notified blog. Sorry, that was a bad example. The second example I can find is Propel PRM. So it's a media database which has a blog, and they write about their audience are PRs. And again, you go onto LinkedIn. Content. And I would target this guy. So this guy's probably in charge of the blog. Another thing you can do is just see who writes the blog. So you got Sonia Deutsch. Well, she seems to be a freelancer. I'm actually going to make a video about how to find the people you need to contact. So that'll be a separate video. But anyway, you find the right person, and then this is what you pitch them. So subject line, pitch tips from a freelance journo. Hi first, my name is your name, and I've been a freelance journalist for 8 years. As you no doubt imagine, I received tens of thousands of PR pitches in my time. A few have been excellent, but most are dreadful. I'd like to write an article for Company's blog that explains what journalists look for in a PR pitch. I'll also give some examples of the best pitches I've received in my career in this article. The article will be exclusive to you and won't cost you anything. Here are some previous examples of my writing on similar topics. Again, it's just proof that you can write well. If this is of any interest to you, please let me know and I can send over a draft in the next few days. Thanks. Lovely. And the final one of these is, I call it the Tarted Up Testimonial. So what you've got to do is you've got to think of companies that serve your own industry. And the easiest type of company to go for is CRMs, as every industry have their own types of CRMs. And CRM companies, it's so competitive at the moment that they all are publishing a lot of content. So they're going to say yes to an offer to take some of that workload off them. So it's just a good industry to pitch guest posts in. So you offer an article for these companies that talk about a pain point in the industry and talk about how their solution can help them ease that pain point. So it's an article that very clearly sort of plugs that company. So, for example, a sales company can offer an article to an email automation tool about creative ways to personalize cold sales emails. This can be used to show off any email personalization features that the email automation tool in question has. So you're like 7 cool ways to personalize a sales email, and then you actually show how you do it in the software in question, so it looks like a native blog post on that software's site. So keywords to find would be cold email software blog minus best, and I've googled that, and the first one that comes up is new reply. And again, they write posts that offer tips on how to do cold email. Again, you go on LinkedIn, They've only got 2 people on LinkedIn, and Onar Janez, who seems to be the founder, is the guy who writes the blogs. So he's the person you want to contact. And the pitch you write is subject line, more than just first name. Hi, first. My name is your name, and I'm a sales manager who has, that should be been running cold email campaigns for over 9 years. Over this time, I've developed dozens of frameworks for personalizing emails in creative ways that can still be scaled. I'd like to write an article for companies' blog that runs through some of these frameworks. For each framework, I will give examples of email sequences we have developed with them. I will also run through how this line is very important. I will also run through how your software's features can help people implement these creative personalizations. So it's like a case study in how their software can help people. It's just free advertising for them from a quote unquote impartial person. The article will be exclusive to you and won't cost you anything. Here's some previous examples of my writing on similar topics. Just prove you can write well. If this is of interest to you, then please let me know and I can send over a draft in the next few days. Thanks. So this is who you want to target and what to say to them. When it comes to scaling the strategy, we send all prospects within an industry the same pitch. We then write them the same article, but we adjust it just to make it look native to their blog. So if a website's typical blog post is 1,000 words, we write 1,000-word article. If it's 2,000 words, we write a 2,000-word article. If they tend to write like list posts, we do the article as a list post. If they tend to do like more in-depth how-to guides, like screenshots and shit, then that's what we do. We just match the style of the prospect's blog. Otherwise, they're not going to want to publish it once they receive the content. And then once we have saturated one industry, we move on to an adjacent industry and we go with an adjacent angle that matches the industry. So, for example, if we're doing the recruitment thing, we start with recruitment companies. We then move on to CV writing software, and we then move on to career coaches. And if you do that, then you'll be surprised how far you can scale the strategy. I have built hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of links for basically just from one angle that I've just tweaked and tweaked and tweaked to get into different industries using this. It's a fucking grind, but it works. So yeah, again, I've written an article that goes way more in depth on how to do this. This used to be all I do when I started out in my link building career. So yeah, I'll put the article in the description. And if you've got any questions about it, then just let me know in the comments.